Hello and welcome to one of the finest motor racing complexes in the world. We are coming to you from La Conca World Circuit for the biggest kart race of the year. Yes, it is the 2015 World Kart Racing Championships. And in just a few moments, we will get underway with the KFJunior Final as the karts make their way out onto the grid. Well, we started with 100 drivers from every populated continent on Earth fighting for the most prestigious title in world karting. You can see the karts at the bottom of your screen lining up. They've been here for more than a week of testing. We started with 100, we got down to 68 for the two pre-finals. Now we are down to the final 34. It's been a long week for some of these drivers, but in a few moments' time, in 21 laps' time, it will be all worthwhile as one of these junior drivers claims the title of World Kart Racing Champion. Apart from the La Conca World Circuit, it's not a bad place to spend a week here in La Conca. Let's take a look at this beautiful region that surrounds the La Conca World Circuit here in Puglia, southern Italy. Yes, indeed, it is a beautiful part of the world here in Puglia. It is so old, the culture is so historic, we date back to ancient Greek times. That's how far south we are in Italy. It is home to one of the finest race complexes on world that you can see in the world, that you can see on screen now. As we take a look at the pole sitter, the man that is attempting to become, or the boy I should say, that is attempting to become the first American World Kart Racing Champion since Lake Speedway back in 1978. That is Logan Sargent from Florida. He's had an awesome week so far. He had 4 heat wins. He dominated the pre-final. He lines up on pole position, very relaxed as you can see. For the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team, it is indeed an all Ricky Flynn Motorsport front row of the grid, because we have the driver from Venezuela on screen now, Sebastian Fernandez. On the outside front row, they're both driving identical Vortex-powered Alonso karts. 127 for Sargent and 115 for Fernandez. So we take a look over the paddock with some of these very impressive race transporters here in the pit area. That is the French-born Brit, Clement Novalak. He may have a French flag beside his name, but he speaks the Queen's English perfectly. He likes to be referred to as a Brit. Clement Novalak starts out of grid number 3 for the factory Tony Kart racing team. This is Ulisses Dupau for Birol Art. He had a great run in the pre-final, just finishing second behind Fernandez, so starts on grid number 4 for the Birol Art team. Could very well be in contention for the World Championship for the Birol Art team here this afternoon. They're no strangers to World Championships, are they? They've won many over their many decades in this form of motorsport. That is the Italian Davide Lombardo. Very impressive. It's a privately entered Tony Kart, although he is running for the Ward Racing team, who this year picked up the European Championship with their driver Christian Lundgaard, who has since swapped teams. We'll get to him in a few moments. We're looking at Felipe Drugovic on screen. He is from Maringa in Brazil. Quietly spoken, but very, very determined. He starts out of grid number 6 in the 108 Cosmic Kart as the 3-minute board goes up. Caio Colette from Sao Paulo in Brazil. This weekend he is being overseen by the 1995 world champion Gusto Fragas, who is also here this weekend at La Conca overseeing his young charger. Artem Petrov from Russia, driving for 5-time world champion Danilo Rossi in the DR Racing Kart team. Petrov has been very, very quick. I'll correct myself, it was the 5-minute board that just went up. Nicola Abruzzi from nearby Bari in southern Italy. As cool as you like. He calls himself Il Dottorina, the little doctor, because Valentino Rossi is his idol. This is Noah Watt from Denmark, driving for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. He's been very quick. He had a couple of heat wins yesterday. He starts on the 5th row of the grid beside Abruzzi, who we just saw a few moments ago. He's also driving an RFM Alonso kart powered by Vortex. Son of former DTM and Formula 3000 racer Jason Watt, who is here this weekend watching his boy attempt to become a Danish world champion. The first time in 25 years that would happen. Semi Talfuk, as Semi Worship, with the 2 surnames, the Moroccan Brit, also with the RFM team. Semi starts on grid number 11 alongside this very impressive young star from Magnitogorsk in Russia. This is the young girl, Milan Ponomarenko, driving the Lenzo kart with the LKE engine. Number 198, the team from Sicily. She starts on grid number 12. Konsta Lapalainen. He qualified fastest in the setting sun on Friday evening with a sensational time. 4 groups of qualifying after the checkered flag had come out for the final group. In Ayrton Senna-like flash fashion, he flashed across the line and took pole to qualify quickest for Ward Racing. So we look at Lorenzo Colombo from just outside Milan in northern Italy, also driving for the Baby Race team. Of course, Baby Race won the junior world title with Alessio Lorandi 2 years ago in Bahrain. That is the race director, Mr. Nigel Edwards, to the right of your screen, as the beautiful grid girls, quite sadly, leave the circuit. That is a shame. But a magnificent sight nevertheless, with 34 of the best junior kart racing drivers in the world lining up on the grid. You can see the flags in the background. The breeze is picking up. We actually did have a few drops of rain just a few moments ago. The track is expected to stay dry. With that breeze fluttering in the background, we don't expect any rain. We expect those clouds to be blown out to the Adriatic coast, which is only about 10 kilometres from this magnificent La Conca World Circuit. Well, the tension certainly is rising here at La Conca. We are moments away from the biggest race of these drivers' careers. This is the KFJunior World Karting Championship. Last year, the title was won by Ricky Flynn Motorsport with their driver, the Pakistani-Kenyan Brit, Enam Ahmed. Look at the front row of the grid. It is all Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Logan Sargent from Florida in the United States of America. He is absolutely fired up. He is so determined to win this race here this weekend. And he has to start favourite. Such has been his form, and he is starting from pole position. Well, we're nervous up here in the commentary box. The crowd is nervous here in the grandstand as these 125cc engines fire into life. Fernando's a little bit slow getting away from the grid. So how would these young drivers feel? How would their nerves be? Probably not so bad now that they are up and moving. However, one driver has struggled to get away. It is one of the Danilo Rossi karts. We'll get to that in a few moments as we take a look at the grid. It is Sargent and Fernandez on the front row, Novalak and Dupau, Lombardo, Drugovic, Colette and Petrov, Nicola Abruzzi and Noah Watt on the fifth row of the grid. Semi Talfuk Worship out of 11 alongside Milan Ponomarenko. Then it's Konstel Apolainen, Lorenzo Colombo, Nikita Alexandrov, who was slow getting away but has rejoined the back of the field. He will line up alongside the reigning Euro champ Christian Lundgaard. Perdana Minang from Indonesia alongside Rasmus Lind in the Ricardo kart. And on the 10th row of the grid, Antonio Serravalle from Canada and Sun Yu Yang from China. Watch out for a charging Presley Martono out of grid number 30 for Team Baby Race. He finished second in the European Junior Championships. He won the second round of the series, but he had a big crash yesterday, and if he is to become the first Indonesian to win the world title, he will miraculously have to do it from grid number 30 here this afternoon at La Conca World Circuit. The crowd has built in the grandstand here at this complex. We may well get a start this time round. Nikita Alexandrov, you just saw flashing by at the bottom of your screen, is half a lap behind, desperate to try and regain to the back of this snake tail. At the back of the field, he will have to start. We are ready to go. 4 red lights. This is the World Championship final for juniors. It is an all Ricky Flynn Motorsport front row of the grid, but they have immediately been split by Clement Novalak. Sebastian Fernandez has been pushed back to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th spot. But your leader is Logan Sargent. As they go through the infield for the first time, Fernandez has had a dreadful start. Clement Novalak, the Brit, is in 2nd spot. Felipe Drugovic from Brazil is in 3rd. One of the Baby Race karts going side by side with Ulissi Dupau up the back straight. You can see how bunched up they are. Noah Watt getting involved in that battle down through the chicane for the first time. Clement Novalak behind the American. Logan Sargent a little bit defensive this first lap. Across the line they come. It is still Drugovic and Dupau side by side on the start finish straight. Novalak has a big look at the American. Logan Sargent. Sargent still holding off Novalak. It's actually Caio Colette, the other Brazilian, in the other Cosmic kart, who's made the great start. Drugovic is in 5th. In the identical liveried machine. There he is behind Ulissi Dupau. Dupau, the Belgian, is in position number 4 over the ripple strip. Already Logan Sargent starting to establish the lead. Watch Caio Colette up the inside. Nicely done. The Brazilian gets past the Brit into 2nd spot. Look at that. He signals to Novalak, let's get on with it, because the leader, Logan Sargent, is already starting to pull away. He's got 0.5 of a second over them. Back to 2nd place. Ulissi Dupau was in 4th, but he's just been taken by Felipe Drugovic. The Brazilians now running in 2nd and 4th spot. It is the American who's leading, and it is ominous. He's got a lead, stretching out to 0.6 of a second. Novalak in the factory Tony kart, tighter line down through the chicane. Over the ripple strip goes Caio Colette from Sao Paulo in Brazil. His first year in top European racing. He made everyone stand up and take notice when he was in the top 3 in the first round of the European Series in Portimao, Portugal at the start of the year. He's been sensational throughout 2015. He sits in 2nd place in this, the 2015 World Championship. Look at his inside rear jack up nicely. That Cosmic kart working superbly. Already fastest lap of the race, 46.94 for the American Logan Sargent. He's got a 0.6 of a second lead over these 2 drivers on screen. Novalak looks behind him. There's no one there, Clement. There's a big gap back to Felipe Drugovic, who comes through now. A brilliant start by Christian Lundgaard. He's had a dreadful run through the heats. He only qualified in position 28. Remember, he's switched from the Ward Racing Tony kart team to the Energy Course team only a few weeks before this race. As Nicola Abrushi gets side by side with Noah White. Semi Taufuk and Sebastian Fernandez getting involved in that battle. Yeah, Christian Lundgaard only qualified 28th. He had a couple of did not finishes in the heat. To say he had a dreadful run is an understatement, but he saved his best for last. He started out of grid number 10, and he's absolutely flying. In fact, he started further back than that. I've made an error there. He started out of grid number 16. He's now up into position number 5. Christian Lundgaard from just outside Copenhagen in Denmark. Fastest lap of the race last time round. There's your race leader, Logan Sargent. Let's check the gap for you. Last time it was 0.7 of a second. It still remains 0.79 of a second. Look at the inside rear of Kyle Collette's car. He almost had it up on 2 wheels like a motorcycle. He is managing to pull away ever so slightly from Clement Novalak. Uses every bit of the racetrack and then some in the factory Tony kart. Rasmus Lind, fastest lap of the race in the Ricardo kart. Novalak just losing touch ever so slightly with Kyle Collette. Drugovic is still there in 4th, but he's coming under pressure from Christian Lundgaard in the Energy kart. There is Lundgaard at the top of your screen in the blue and red kart with the orange helmet. Lundgaard, can he make a move down the inside into turn number 1? Lundgaard from grid number 16 is now 4th in the World Championship. Can he get up on the podium? Can he win it? We've still got 15 laps to go. Logan Sargent, fastest lap last time round, 46.35 seconds. Well, people were writing off Christian Lundgaard on Saturday night. He had a dreadful run. Started on grid 16. He's now 4th. He's made up 12 places, but he's just been repassed by Felipe Drugovic. Well, is that as good as it gets for the Dane? He's now starting to dice there. Sebastian Fernandez, remember he started on the front row of the grid. It's getting involved in that battle as well. The sportsmanship flag comes out for Pantana Minang. Lundgaard down the inside. Fernandez tries to follow him through. Lundgaard has retaken position number 4 on the racetrack. He's 1 step off the podium at the World Championships. This is your top 3. Sargent, Kyle Collette, Clement Novalak. There is Christian Lundgaard on screen. Kart number 101. Then it's Drugovic, Sebastian Fernandez, the Russian Artem Petrov, Semi Taufuk, Davide Lombardo, and Milan Ponomarenko in the LKE-powered Lenzo kart holds down position number 10. Just behind her is Nicola Abrushi, the Indonesian. Pantana Minang is in 12th. Ulissi Dupau, what's happened to him? He started on grid number 4. The Belgian is now back in position number 13 as Novalak shadows Kyle Collette. There goes Lundgaard. It's up into 4th spot. Driving superbly. He's just managed to put 1 or 2 kart lengths on the brilliant Brazilian Felipe Drugovic. Runs a little bit wide that time. Drugovic works the steering wheel. Sebastian Fernandez from Venezuela. Drugovic is very close to the back of Lundgaard, down through the chicane, down over the chicane. There's Sargent. There's Kyle Collette. There's Clement Novalak. They go through to complete lap number 8. Let's look at the times as they come across the line. The gap last time round was 1.2 seconds from Sargent back to Kyle Collette. It's now up to 1.3 seconds. Logan Sargent continues to lead from Kyle Collette. There is Christian Lundgaard in 4th place. Still cannot shake Felipe Drugovic. Artem Petrov just behind this battle, trying to chase down the Venezuelan Sebastian Fernandez through the ripple strip. No, over the ripple strip. They take every bit of the racetrack and then some. There's Lundgaard. He's having to defend Fernandez up the inside of Drugovic. The 2 drivers from the South American continent. Lundgaard looks over his shoulder, says, go and fight amongst yourselves. I need some breathing space. I need to chase down the leaders. I'm 1 step off the podium, says Christian. I'm the reigning Euro champion, but I'm in position number 4. Christian Lundgaard, is this as good as it gets? He's made a brilliant, brilliant start to be in 4th position aboard that Energy Course kart. Absolutely flying last time round, 46.5. The only drivers going quicker are Logan Sargent and Kyle Collette. They are running 1 and 2. Presley Martono, we spoke about the Indonesian. Look at that at the bottom of your screen. Up into 17th from grid number 30. Oh, a big incident up on the inside. Drugovic has been pushed wide by Fernandez. Drugovic is out of it. As Kyle Collette now behind Clement Novalak for 2nd and 3rd. That has definitely given Lundgaard some breathing space to go about chasing the leaders. He's going to have to catch them at a rate of around about 0.4 of a second a lap because he's over 3 seconds behind this battle for the final step of the podium. That was a big incident into the final turn of the last lap. Drugovic pushed out wide. He's out of contention for this, the World Championship. Clement Novalak, 2 wheels up over the ripple strip. That is the only racing line through one of the most spectacular chicanes in the world of kart racing. Logan Sargent, the gap last time round, 1.6 seconds. This time, well, it's down to 1.5 as we take a look at the replay. There's Lundgaard up the inside. Drugovic actually locked it up to try and avoid the Dane. I don't think he was touched. I think he just had all the brakes locked up. Fernandez did likewise. It was absolutely spectacular. The LeConte tyres were smoking into the final corner. Drugovic, he's effectively out of it. Let's try and pick up where he is. He's down in position number 12. 1 behind David Lombardo and 1 ahead of the Finn Konsta Lapalainen. As these two, Clement Novalak and Kyle Collette, set about chasing the leaders. The leader, I should say, Logan Sargent. The gap is down to 1.5 seconds. There's Lundgaard. He's still under immense pressure from the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. As they come across the line, Fernandez, Artem Petrov has now got himself into 6th. Petrov has now got himself into position number 5, but very, very briefly because Semi Taufuk, the Moroccan Brit, has gone around the outside of the Russian. That has cost Fernandez. Lundgaard continues to look behind him. He's driving the wheels off that machine. He gets it up onto 2 wheels like a motorcycle. Absolutely spectacular for the driver from Copenhagen. Over the ripple strip, he launches it like a motocross bike. He's in position number 4. He's the reigning Euro champ. Again, he goes defensive down the inside. Semi Taufuk fighting there with Petrov. You can see him signaling to say the leaders are getting away from us. Let's not dice. Let's chase them down, but they're going to be 2 and 3 wide. Milan Ponomarenko flashing by at the bottom of your screen. There is Lundgaard, Semi Taufuk, Sebastian Fernandez, Artem Petrov, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Energy kart, Alonso, and the DR Daniela Rossi kart. Petrov up the inside. They're going to be side by side. The Russian has gone through. Fernandez drops back a spot. Meanwhile, the leaders are skipping away. Look at Lundgaard lock up the brakes going into the chicane ever so slightly just to settle the kart a little bit. This time he doesn't go defensive, and this time he gets past. The RFM driver gets him, but they're going to be side by side down the main straight. Semi Taufuk, the Moroccan Brit, is now up into position number 5. Lundgaard has been passed. He's now definitely off the podium. He's going to need a miracle to win the World Championship here at Conca World Circuit. The gap between Logan Sargent and 2nd place Clement Novalak is now stretching. It is 1.6 seconds. We have 5.5 laps remaining of this, the 2015 Junior World Championship. Surely we are going to see an American win it for the first time since Lake Speed at Le Mans back in 1978. Logan Sargent absolutely fired up and determined here at Conca this weekend. This is the battle for 4th and 5th. Let's check the gap. It is now 1.7 seconds from Sargent to Novalak. Then we go back to Kyle Collette. He's dropped off the Brit just a little bit. You can see it's about 2 kart lengths, but such is the closeness of the racing. He's closed right up to him within the space of 2 corners. Novalak gets good drive out of the back chicane. Head of the Brazilian in the Cosmic kart. Novalak a little bit defensive. This has been a super impressive performance by Kyle Collette. He's the least experienced among this leading trio. He's in the slipstream, 126 kilometres an hour down through turn number 1. Down through turn number 2. He's very, very close to the back. Will he get it up onto 2 wheels? Yes, indeed he does. You can see the inside rear lifting. Novalak continuing to be shadowed by the Brazilian. Logan Sargent with 1.7 seconds up the road. Noah Watt, he was one of the big great hopes for this World Championship. He's just at the fastest lap of the race, but he's way down. Position number 16, one ahead of the Spaniard Marta Garcia. This is surely going to be the podium, barring a catastrophe, which may well happen. Collette looks over his shoulder rather than trying to make a move on the Brit. Clement Novalak for the factory Tony Kart Racing Team in second spot. There is Logan Sargent. Surely he's on his way to victory here this afternoon. He's going to write his name in the history books, it would seem. He's got 3 laps to do it. The gap is now at to 1.9 seconds. The Ricky Flynn Motorsport team, after winning the title 12 months ago in France with the Pakistani Kenyan Brit Anam Ahmed, it seems are going to make it 2 in a row. These two are trying desperately to ensure that does not happen, but they're going to have to reel in nearly 2 seconds in 2 laps, and we can't see that happening. Novalak with a bit of a gap now to the Brazilian. Quite a bit of a gap, in fact. 1.8 seconds from this boy, Logan Sargent, to Novalak. Kyle Collette from Sao Paulo in Brazil. We mentioned that Gustavo Fragas, the 1995 world champion, is here this weekend overseeing his young protege. And he's driving absolutely superbly. It is an all OTK 1, 2 and 3. That's even more ominous. In fact, they're 4th as well. Christian Lundgaard, the first non-OTK kart, giving a real fight to the team from Prevale Brescia in Italy. He's aboard the Energy Course. The team from Bergamo outside Milan. The reigning European champion. Well, how far up the road would Christian Lundgaard have got with a little bit more testing, a little bit more preparation? He's only been in that energy kart for a matter of weeks, and he's running 5th in the World Championship. However, this is the final lap of the race. The checkered flag is being ready. For the first time since 1978, it appears we are going to have an American win the World Championship. The last time that happens was Le Mans back in 1978 when the NASCAR driver Lake Speed did it. Down through the chicane for the final time. Logan Sargent looks over his shoulder. He cannot be beaten from here. He locks up the wheels. The checkered flag beats ready. The world champion is Logan Sargent. He has won the World Championship for 2015. Across the line in second spot goes Clement Novalak. Kyle Collette from Brazil was 3rd. He will take the final step of the podium. The checkered flag waves for the boy from Florida. He has won here at La Conca World Circuit. He has beaten 100 of the best junior kart racing drivers in the world to take the 2015 World Championship. He's absolutely ecstatic. Wow, how good is this for the young American? You know, at the start of the year, he looped it while he was leading in one of the WSK races. He was absolutely filthy on himself. He's come back bigger and stronger. And he has won the 2015 World Karting Championship once again for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. Very emotional scenes down in the pits. For the first time in 3.5 decades, the American national anthem will sound out on the podium at the World Karting Championship. There is the results. Sargent has won for the United States of America from Clement Novalak, and then Kyle Collette, all the way from Sao Paulo in Brazil, makes it 3 different continents in the top 3. Semi Talfork Worship finished in 4th from Fernandez Petrov. Well, after a great effort, Christian Lundgaard faded just a little bit in the end to finish 7th. Milan Podomarenko from Russia has finished 8th in the world. Felipe Drugovich has finished 9th, and Nicola Abruzzi has finished in the top 10. Good drive there from Presley Martono to come from grid number 13 to 30 to finish 13th. But it's all about the boy from the United States. Logan Sargent has won the World Championship for KFJunior. The final time this category will contest the world title here at La Conca. The world title for 2015. The stars and stripes will be raised on the podium. Very emotional scenes down here in the pits at La Conca World Circuit. So Logan Sargent wins the world title. We take a look back at the highlights. This was as close as the rest of the field got to the American Logan Sargent from pole position. Led away while the rest of the field fought amongst themselves. Kyle Collette and Clement Novalak had a fantastic race-long battle. There was Christian Lundgaard, possibly the drive of the race, the recovery of the race from grid 16. He got his way up into 4th, would eventually go on to finish in 7th place, holding off Felipe Drugovich, Sebastian Fernandez from Venezuela. Drove well. This was a big incident. Felipe Drugovich and Sebastian Fernandez. Artem Petrov, a good drive by the Russian. In the Danilo Rossi kart, also taking the fight up to the OTK boys. But all the while that they were dicing, the American Logan Sargent skipped away to take a big win. This was Christian Lundgaard, the reigning Euro champ, 7th in the world for 2015. Fighting there with Semi Talfuk. This was the bottom step of the podium, but the checkered flag for Logan Sargent. He is the 2015 Junior World Kart Racing Champion. Well, for the first time since 1978, an American has won the World Kart Racing Championships. Ricky Flynn Motorsport has made it 2 in a row with their boy Logan. Great drive by Clement Novalak into 2nd spot. Well done to Kyle Collette. Also, Logan Sargent, the 2015 World Champion. They're absolutely elated up here on the podium. We're going to get underway with the official podium presentations almost immediately. Fantastic scenes here at La Conca World Circuit. The drivers just get themselves organised. We're going to present to you the podium for the 2015 KFJunior World Championships. In 3rd place, from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Kyle Collette. 2nd place, from Great Britain, driving for the Tony Kart team, it is Clement Novalak. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since 1978, an American has won the World Karting Championship. He has done it for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Welcome to the top step of the podium, the 2015 KFJ World Kart Racing Champion, Logan Sargent! And representing the winning team for the second year in a row, Ricky Flynn as the winning team manufacturer. We stand by for the national anthem of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Junior Karting World Championship podium. We'll get underway with the presentation for the third place driver. The trophy to be presented by Monsieur Jean-Pierre Deschamps, the CIK FIA Commission member. Just make correction there. That was, of course, the Mr. Enzo Spano of Venezuela, the FIA World Motorsport Council member, to present the second place trophy. 1991 and 1994 karting world champion Jarno Trulli to present the trophy to Clement Novalak. And I call upon the CIK FIA Vice President, Mr. Kees van der Grint, to present the winning trophy to the 2015 World Junior Champion, Logan Sargent. And the CIK FIA Commission member, Mr. Franz Schreiner, to present the trophy to Ricky Flynn, representing the winning team, Ricky Flynn Motorsport. The girls to step in and present the flowers to the three drivers on the podium, Kyle Collette, Clement Novalak, and of course, Logan Sargent. And of course, to Ricky Flynn, representing the team, RFM Motorsport. We'll step in here for a quick word with our podium place getters. Kyle Collette, your first year in international competition, third in the world. You must be absolutely ecstatic. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good race. The start was pretty good. Congrats to Logan for the World Championship.
Well done, Kyle Collette, all the way from Brazil. Second place, Clement Novalak. You came oh so close. It's been a brilliant 2015. You are second in the world.
Yes, great feeling. I mean, I can't be any more happy. Well done to Logan, because I mean, he's done a brilliant job this weekend, and also Kaio, who's only 13, and he manages to be on the podium. After, it was a tough race. Last week I had back problems and didn't even know if I could race this World Championship, but my whole team was with me all the time, and yeah, this step is not big enough for the whole team, but it should be for everyone. So yeah, well done to the team and well done to Logan.
Congratulations, Clement, Vice World Champion for 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 World Champion, Logan Sargent. Logan, well done. You are standing on the top step of the podium. The Stars and Stripes is flying for the first time in the World Karting Championship since 1978. How do you feel?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I couldn't thank my team more. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even be here. So I don't. It hasn't even sunk in.
The junior final is done, but in a few moments' time, we will have the big one, the KF World Championship for 2015. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
You know, I understand. Normally she should put this on top, but okay, it happens and yeah. Yeah, but don't worry, that can happen.